Julia was 63 years old, and the years had weighed heavily upon her. Her back often ached when she walked too far, and her eyes grew weary whenever she tried to read for too long. She lived alone in a small, quiet house on the edge of town. Ever since her husband had passed away a decade earlier, silence had become her constant companion. Her only child, a son named Jacob, had left for America many years ago. There, he built a new life with his wife, Hannah, and their two children. They owned a large house, enjoyed stability, and looked toward a bright future. Julia told herself that she was proud of her son's success, but pride often felt like a bitter meal when swallowed in solitude. Her days slipped by slowly, marked by small routines. She swept the floor, boiled water for tea, and sat on the porch to watch her neighbors come and go with their families. Unlike them, no one visited her and no one called her name. Occasionally, Jacob sent her money or promised that he would visit soon, yet the visits never came. Still, Julia waited. Still, she loved him. One evening, as she sat in her dimly lit room, the lamp flickering beside her, the telephone rang. Her heart leapt at the sound. It was Jacob's voice, but something in his tone was off. Uneasy, trembling. "Mother," he said, "I'm coming home. I have something to tell you." Julia asked what it was, but after a long pause, he spoke only 3 words, "Pray for me." Then the line went dead. That night, she could not sleep. She sat in silence, staring at the door, waiting for his knock. Morning came, then afternoon, then another day. Still, there was no Jacob. On the 3rd day, someone finally knocked. With weak legs, Julia opened the door. 2 men stood before her in black coats. One of them spoke gently. "Are you Mrs. Julia White, the mother of Jacob White?" Her hands shook as she answered yes. Desperation filled her voice as she asked where her son was, whether he had sent them. The man lowered his eyes before replying, "Ma'am, we are from the consulate. There has been an incident in America." The world seemed to tilt beneath her. She could only whisper a single word, "No." The second man, his voice unsteady, explained that there had been a fire in the building where Jacob lived. Smoke had spread too quickly, trapping many families inside. Julia clutched the doorframe to keep herself from collapsing. She tried to ask if Jacob had survived, but the words caught in her throat. The man shook his head slowly. "We cannot confirm yet. His name is on the list of residents, but many bodies have not been identified." Her heart pounded painfully. The room blurred, and a low ringing filled her ears. Yet she refused to believe. "No," she said. "He is alive. He promised me. He said he would come home." The men exchanged a heavy glance. One of them placed an envelope in her trembling hands. "This contains some details. We will contact you again once we know more." Then they turned and left, leaving Julia frozen in the doorway. She collapsed into her chair, clutching the envelope she could not bring herself to open. Tears spilled freely, staining the paper. The silence around her felt heavier than ever before. She wanted to scream, to demand answers from heaven itself, but all she could whisper was, "Jacob, my son, don't leave me. Not like this." That night, she sat by the window, staring into the vast darkness. Somewhere across the ocean, smoke still rose from a building that had once held her son's laughter, his life, his future. She prayed until her voice broke, but deep inside a dreadful whisper echoed, what if Jacob was gone forever? What if his final words, "Pray for me," were his last goodbye? The night gave no answers, only shadows, only silence.